It's recorded. And then what you just do for high school?
Okay, so we'll be interviewing you about the civil rights. My first question is, what's your name and how do you spell it?
Okay, my name is Mr. Halsey, and it's spelled Halsey. And I've been here at Washington for, this is my 5th year.
Okay.
This is your 5th year?
5th year here.
Okay, where were you born?
I was born in Michigan.
Okay.
Did you grow up in
I
Michigan?
grew up in Michigan, went to college there, went through high school and college there.
Okay, my next question is, where were you living during the civil rights movement?
I was living in Michigan.
Okay.
Yeah, in the first part of it. You know, I would say that I first realized the civil rights movement in the middle 60s when President Kennedy was in office. Then after his assassination, Lyndon Johnson was president, and his programs reflected Kennedy's programs, and
Mhm.
only they were broader.
Right.
So in the 60s and 70s is when I would say when I became aware of the civil rights program.
So did this affect your childhood? Like,
No, it didn't affect my childhood at all.
Do you remember how old you were during the civil rights?
In high school, probably your age,
Right.
maybe a little older because I was probably, yeah, I wasn't in, I grew up in a small town.
Mhm.
There was one black family and one Hispanic family in the town. And we all went to school together. There was no differences of anybody. You know, we all played on the same sports teams. We were in the same classes. We did everything together.
Okay.
So there wasn't any awareness of, civil rights problems.
What was your childhood like growing up?
It was very good. It was very good.
Did you have any fears or what were your thoughts during the civil rights?
Well, like I said, I wasn't I wouldn't say I was affected by it at all.
Okay.
so everything to you was just normal? Like you grew up as a normal
Yeah,
kid, went to
it was
school as a
normal.
normal
I mean, it
kid?
wasn't normal in other parts of the country, but for me, everything was normal.
Was it hard for you, your parents, to get jobs? Did
No,
it affect the money issue?
no. When I was growing up, women didn't. Now, my mother worked, but it was just part-time job. My father had a full-time job. When I graduated, or when I was going through high school, I got summer jobs easily during the summer.
Did you ever have any type of struggles during this time?
And I'm sorry.
Did you have any struggles during this time?
No, no, no struggles.
Do you know about how old you were when the civil rights finally ended?
Do I? I'm sorry.
Do you remember how old you were when the civil rights finally ended?
Well, God, when did it end? You tell me when it ended, and I'll tell you how old I was.
um,
Now, Martin Luther King was assassinated in 1973. Did it end then?
let's see.
How did you
did
feel
the-
about that?
What?
How did you feel about that?
Well, how did I know about it? I was I was alive then. So did it end? I mean,
It
when
ended
when the
about.
civil rights movement ended,
Mhm.
I don't think it's ended. Do you?
I would hope so.
I mean, do you?
It says
Do
it's
you feel?
about.
Oh, no, I don't think it ended with Martin Luther King's "I Have a Dream" speech. You're probably right. You know that you've got a black president, you have
Mhm.
black Congress people, women in office, in high offices. You've got women high in the military. So women have gotten equal, well, they don't have equal rights because they don't have the Equal Rights Amendment.
Right.
But they've proven that they can do the job required, right? Right?
Yes.
Okay. And now you've got a black president and black generals and administrators and in every key position. So, boy,
Well, it says it ended in 1968, late 1960s,
what?
the civil rights,
Civil rights demonstrations?
the movement.
The movement ended?
Yeah, the whole movement.
Okay, well, I don't know.
Oh,
If it ended then, I was 20 years old.
oh,
But I remember, boy, in the 60s and 70s, there was still a lot of police brutality against black people. Um, there was a lot of discrimination, work discrimination cases because of races. Okay, whatever.
did your teachers ever talk to you about the civil rights while you were in school? And if so, what did they say?
No, I don't recall that.
Never.
I don't recall that.
Okay. How did you first find out about the civil rights, and what was your reaction to hearing it?
How did I first find out about it? Living, I guess, relatively close to Detroit, when there was a big race riot in Detroit in 1967. That was the first time that I probably had heard about it or read about it before that, but that's when it really, then I was made more aware of it then.
Right. Um, did you support? I'm sorry. Did you support the civil rights? Why or not, or was you just like neutral about it?
No, I supported the movement
Okay. Could you tell us why you supported it?
because I thought that Dr. King was went about it all the right way. He was very peaceful, unlike a lot of the others
Right.
that were prone to violence. Dr. King was everything was peaceful, getting rights the peaceful way.
Did you ever like? Did you have variety of cultures as friends growing up?
A variety of
Yeah.
cultures.
Like African American, Hispanic, Asian.
When I was growing up, like I told you, there was one black family and one Hispanic family in my town. So I didn't have a variety of cultures.
What was the thing you remember the most? Negatively. What was the thing you remember the most in a negative way?
I guess I don't understand. What
What was the most negative thing you remember about the civil rights?
the most memorable thing?
Yeah. Was it negative or
Oh,
positive?
negative or positive? Um, yeah, there were so many riots and people killed. That was being negative. But there were peaceful marches and peaceful demonstrations. That would be. the one family. But when I got to college, then it was all different. And some were friendly and some weren't friendly. You know, have you guys seen 42, the movie?
No,
No.
I heard it was good.
Oh, you now see that's where you got to see this and see what black people went through in the late 40s.
Right.
See, I remember that where restrooms in public places were labeled whites only, colored only.
Right.
Drinking fountains, whites only, colored only.
Did you ever try to make friends with the colored or other races?
They can really shed light on what it was like for them. Because I'm sure for them, being black, it was different than for me.
Yeah.
Right. So overall, do you believe the civil rights was necessary? Why or why not?
Oh, sure, it's necessary. Everyone needs the same opportunities to do things. Whether they whether they take the opportunity is up to them. But everyone should have the same opportunity. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
No, I don't think a person's a person's skin color makes them automatically get something, but they should have the opportunity to get something.
Right. Well, sir, that
You know,
concludes our.
my parents both worked. I worked 3 jobs, and I work for what I have.
Right.
Well, thank you once again.
You're welcome. I hope you do good hope you get a good grade.
Thank you,
Too.
Who's your teacher?
Mr.
Mr.
Cushman.
Kush.
Oh, he'll get